Like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Shout out to the Who Dat Nation, man. We in this thing. Shout out to the fam. Like I've been saying for some time now, welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, I'm rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. What's popping, fam? It's hump day. We in this thing as we on the right side of the week. I hope you guys been having a fantastic and positive week so far. And we got a couple days left, Thursday, Friday, and then we into the weekend, baby. So shout out to the Who Dat Nation. Appreciate you guys for being in this latest stream. Big ups to everybody, brother Eugene, brother OG Jerry, Paul in the building. Shout out to you. Rick's Raw, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Brother JT, Trav 504's in this thing. Shout out to you. Kevin, much love. Brother Joseph, Nolans 504 was popping. My brother, brother Tori, shout out to you. Kay, what's happening, Kay? Shout out to you, Queen. Appreciate you. Brother Yin is in this thing as well. Good to see you. Roll was popping, fam. Jeremy, much love. OG to the third degree. Shout out to you, fam. You know, I got to break it down like that. That deserve a little extra on it. Devon, what's happening, brother? Appreciate you. Gundam is in this thing. Big Ant and the rest of the fam. JLJ 504 HD. Shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you, sir. Much love. All right. And all the family members, man. Thank y'all for being in the stream. 504 Code, much love. Tuck Graph, what's popping, baby? What's popping? What's going on? So shout out to the entire fam across the world, man. In this stream, fam, we're going to talk about a few things, not too much. What's going on, Dudley? Shout out to you, my brother. Oh, yeah, it's been a while, my brother. Good to see you, man. Hope everything well with you and the fam. Much love, bro. Thank you for being here. Zachary, what's popping, fam? Let's go. What's happening, my brother? All right, fam. So much love to the entire Who Dat Nation. Brother Wallace, what's popping, brother? Good to see you in this thing as well, man. We're going to talk a few things, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on a few things as well in the chat. We're going to go over the news notes concerning the Saints. Of course, we know our black and gold boys are traveling. They're going up there to scrimmage a couple of days against the San Diego Chargers. You could say, you know, it ain't no Washington whatevers and the Chargers. They not moved up to Los Angeles to share a stadium with the Rams. So, you know, they ain't have no teams in Los Angeles. Now they got two teams up there, you know. So the Los Angeles Chargers, and they're a pretty decent team. They're a pretty good team. Got a good quarterback and a couple of pieces around them. Going to scrimmage against them. That's a positive because, of course, our guys are beating up on each other, getting each other hurt. So let's give some of that extra aggression and physicality to the other team. You know, we don't have to worry about, you know, pulling back on them. We can kind of, you know, unleash the beast, so to speak, against the San Diego or the Los Angeles Chargers, rather, in this thing. So we'll cover this as well. We'll go over that. We'll take a look at their depth charts, both depth charts, the Saints and Chargers depth charts, as shown by their websites. And of course, we'll go into and look and talk about the latest additions to the Saints team, meaning Brother Darrell Williams, the running back from LSU, by way of, he played in a couple of teams with the Chiefs and the Cardinals. He's here to help out the black and gold wearing number 34. That's a positive. And of course, Jalen Smith, the linebacker, who had some time with the Cowboys and the Giants. He's here. We'll talk about those guys' potential impacts. Let's just say that the potential impacts on the team. How, what we looking at here. So we'll cover that as well, and I'll get you guys' thoughts on that. So anyway, shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all. Much love to everybody, man. Thank y'all for being in the stream. Corvadia, shout out to you. Elite, once again, shout out to you, fam. And we're in this thing. All right, Gundam says, Q, off topic. If you can answer my question, what's up with bro? He gonna be fine, bro. Foskey's gonna be okay, man. It takes a little bit, bro. You know what I'm saying? So he has a gift. He's a pass rusher, lanky guy. He has to get acclimated to the system, bro. Foskey's gonna get it together, man. It's gonna work out, bro. It's gonna work out. We just have to be a little patient with Foskey. We was big time patient with Davenport. We were super patient with Davenport, really super patient with Davenport. Didn't pan out too much. He showed some flashes and kind of stole money, if you will, from the Saints, and then got his tail up out of here. And then we look at Peyton Turner, who's really the real deal. Peyton Turner's the really real deal. If he can stay healthy, he's something, man. When he's in there, he's getting pressure. I mean, Peyton Turner could really flip this thing and make us forget that we made the Davenport pick. And we were looking for, and I won't show my sci-fi nerd, you know what I'm saying? But growing up, I was a comic book guy, anime. I used to, draw, did music and all this kind of stuff, just the artist stuff, right? And then, everybody loved the Star Wars thing. So, everybody was thinking that Darth Vader was actually the person that was supposed to come and save the universe and bring balance to the Force. That was the big thing. And it really wasn't him. It was through his lineage that the Force would be balanced, right? And obviously, I'm kind of making a Star Wars comparison here as Darth Vader being Davenport and the Saints universe being that he was supposed to bring balance to the Saints defensive line with Cam taking all of the work. Davenport was supposed to come in and kind of balance it out, so to speak. Perhaps it wasn't Davenport. Perhaps it was, we were looking at Davenport, and all the while it was the guy behind him and Peyton Turner, baby. Could he be a young Luke Skywalker on the scene, man? Could he be that person? Could we be looking at that?
He ain't lying.
So we have to keep it, kind of looking at it from a sci-fi perspective, baby. But yeah, just throwing that out there, man. But hey, Peyton Turner looks good, man, and we'll see what he can do moving forward, man. So shout out, no problem, brother Gundam. Shout out to you, sir. Thank you for being here. Yeah, that's, bro. I promise you, Isaiah Foskey, man. Be a little patient with him. I'm telling you, he's gonna be fine. I'm telling you, the Saints are gonna get him right and get him all together. Like I said, he got the talent. The guy is just a natural with it, but sometimes it takes a little bit of, a little hard work to figure out. And we got Cam there. We got other guys there that kind of help him refine his technique, get his stuff together. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him down the line, man. So it's all good to my sci-fi people out there. All right, Tuck says Darth Vader did. That's right. Yeah. That's a good one. Yes. See, y'all with me. Y'all feeling it. Y'all feeling the vibe. Tuck grab. That's great. She says Darth Vader didn't lose a finger. He chopped Luke's head off. Oh man, y'all, it's something else, man. But y'all feeling me on the vibe. Y'all feeling me on that analogy. So I'm good that y'all feeling me on that. So yeah, we're gonna be all right, man. That was pretty damn good, though. I see y'all feeling me on that. I like that. Rose says, like DA said, I'd rather have a dog that I have to hold back than a dog I have to keep. That's right, man. We got to keep it going, man. And Gundam says Cam needs help. Yeah, I know. And listen, fam, I think Peyton Turner is man, he just needs to stay healthy, man. And don't we find ourselves saying that about several of the defensive linemen there? Like we talking, and some guys on the offensive line as well. So we saying guys like Peyton Turner has to stay healthy. Brian Brees has to stay healthy. And, if we can rotate these guys and not overuse them, and I think that was the idea of the Saints loading the depth on both on the defensive line, to have to create the rotations, because guys start getting injured when they get worn down, and we don't want to wear these guys down. Like the rotation last year was pathetic. Our rotation stunk last year. We had Kent Street couldn't do a damn thing. He stunk. He couldn't push Shy Tuttle out here. Shy Tuttle wasn't a true nose tackle. I want to say they had him as the nose tackle, but that was the thing they had going on when they had two defensive tackles, and they were trying to say, well, we don't need no nose tackle. Remember we were saying that? I was like, man, how many years was it, fam, when you've seen the default fall in the Saints interior defensive line due to the fact that we had a guy like David Onyemata there, but you seen the best out of David Onyemata when he was next to Malcolm Brown, and Malcolm Brown was that guy. Malcolm Brown would command a double team, made life easier for everybody. So when that happened, man, we got him out of here. When Malcolm Brown, they didn't bring him back. I don't know why they traded him. And then he got released by, I think, the Jaguars, who they traded him to for whatever the damn pick was. And then they eventually, when he was a free agent, the Saints didn't even look in his direction. So I'm like, why aren't we looking at Malcolm Brown to bring him in so he could help out? It just didn't work out. But anyway, it's you see them kind of switching the philosophy and going back to the nose tackle position with Saunders, and you have him there. You need that kind of guy there that can push the pocket. That makes life easier on guys like Cam Jordan and all those guys. So, I mean, it's good to see eventually that they're shifting that mentality around. Shout out to my brother Kai. It's Poppy 504 K-Man. Shout out to you, brother. Good to see y'all in the chat. All right, so fam, let's kind of walk our way through this thing. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're not subscribing, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Sports Coma, we in the building, baby. Let's get it popping. So this is, of course, we know the game is Sunday, 6:05 p.m. Central Time. I didn't do a live stream or a play-by-play for the Kansas City game. I had a lot of stuff I was doing the previous day, and I was really tired. I had to be pretty tired if I didn't do it, but I did do the recap. But I'm going to be doing the play-by-play for the San Diego Chargers. Yeah, I go again. The Saints versus the Chargers matchup. I'll be doing my regular play-by-play, but I've been doing for years. I'm doing that for that game and the rest of the preseason games, this one, another one, and the regular season as well. And then also, that's an extra caveat. I'm having my pops, my father, to come in on the recap show, and he'll be recapping the Chargers and Saints matchup with me. So I'm kind of stoked about that as well. So anyway, let's get into this one, man. For this and this preview is provided by the NewOrleansSaints.com's page, and they're letting you know that looking to build on the momentum of last week's win, 26-24. Saints come from behind to steal a win, and I love it when we get the preseason wins and learn and win. We struggle, but we learn and win, and you get both the effect. You get a happy family base, and you get happy players because they were able to do enough to win the game. So shout out to them there. So we'll travel to Los Angeles for 2 days of joint practices, good weather up there, and take on the Chargers at SoFi Stadium Sunday, August the 20th, 2023 at 6:05 p.m. Central Time. The Saints Chargers have met 10 times in the preseason, with the Saints holding a 6-4 edge, and 13 times in the regular season, with Los Angeles leading the series 7-6. Very close. Chargers are coming off a 34-17 preseason victory against the Rams in week 1. So they ain't have far to travel to get ready for that one. New Orleans captured the preseason opener against defending champion Kansas City Chiefs. It was really fun game to watch. All that stuff goes on. Of course, they go into some of the history of the Chargers and Saints series matchup. Chargers have played 13 times with Chargers, with 7-6, winning the last 4. So the Saints won the last 4 matchups. Recently, the Saints defeated the Chargers 30-27, October the 20th, 2020, in the Sunday night football contest at the Superdome. So then Drew Brees successfully executed a 9-play, 48-yard drive that ended up with a 36-yard field goal by Will Lutz on the 4th and 6th play, and Laddie Daddy tackled Chargers wide receiver Michael Williams at the Los Angeles 49-yard line, one shot shy of the down marker to end the contest. I know y'all remember that one. That was a real good game. The Saints lead the preseason series against the Chargers 6-4 and have won the last 3 last 3 contests. So let's keep this going for the black and gold, shall we? Let's keep all this stuff popping and going and moving all at the same time. So yeah, we're gonna have actually do a Chargers and Saints preview coming up later on this week. I'm lining up a Charger person to come here and talk and break down their squad. So be looking out for that, fam. We're working on that right now. So anyway, let's move on and we're going to take a look at with the Chargers. This is from their website, their depth chart here for the Chargers. I like the colors, man. Too bad we got to dirty them up a little bit. And of course, you see, I don't know if any of their starters are going to be playing in this game. You know how he goes. We don't know. Dennis Allen says we got to wait and see stuff like that for the Saints with Derek Carr and all them. But I'm like, wait and see is not a no. You know what I'm saying? So is he kind of leaving that out there? So could we see another situation where the Saints have one series when we see our offensive starters and defensive starters in the game showing up, showing off? That would give a lot of good energy too to get another solid drive out of the team. And usually, I guess they don't play the third preseason matchup, like they just give it all over to the rest of the guys. We'll see how they handle it this year, with Dennis Allen running it. But anyway, this is what the Chargers got looking on their first team, Justin. Herbert's the quarterback. Running back is Austin Eckler, who's a good good running back there. Their wide receivers is Keenan Allen, who's a steady wide receiver, been banged up with a lot of injuries there. Mike Williams, the big target, is there. They also added Quentin Johnston. That's another interesting dude. Darius Davis is on the squad with a few other wide receivers they have that's trying to make the team. Offensive line is Slater, Johnson, Lindsey, Sellier, Timpkins, and the tight end is Gerald Everett, the former Ram tight end Gerald Everett, who didn't go very far there. And of course, they have an interesting offense, man. And they're gonna Herbert. They'll go as far as Herbert take them. They got Khalil Mack there on the defensive side with Joey Bosa, so that's an interesting tandem right there. When you have those guys together. Interior, speaking of the defensive line, not no big names there, but they're pretty solid. You have Eddie Kendricks there. Kenneth Murray Jr. is another really good young linebacker there. Then J.C. Jackson, who's a former Patriot. He's at the cornerback, but Ashanti Samuel Jr. Y'all remember Ashanti Samuel Sr., the Patriots cornerback, was pretty undersized, but a pretty decent cornerback. His son ain't bad either. So they're there. Darwin James, junior, the Florida State safety, is there. So they have a few people. Mike Davis, remember Mike Davis is a solid cornerback too. So they have some interesting pieces on defense that can have. So we'll probably see some of these guys, I don't think, for a long series or two before we start looking at some of these other people, the depth behind their team. So and they'll see quarterbacks come in there to like Easton Stick, who's not a bad quarterback. Max Dugan, who was the former TCU quarterback that played with our guy Kendre Miller, who got it. That guy's tough as nails and a big old heart, and he's on their squad. They picked him up, and then there's several other players that are interesting for the San Diego Chargers, as well. So let's take a move and go to our team. The only team that matter in this whole mixture. No disrespect to our Charger family members, but we love that black and gold. What can I tell you? Now, Derek Carr, like we talked about, just mentioned Carr. He had a fantastic out, and just not just him, but the entire first team for the Saints in terms of the offense. The defense had a good performance too, and we want to see if them guys can kind of repeat the feat, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You see, I'm throwing that rhyming in there. That's Reverend Saint, baby. But they did a real good job. Michael Thomas was there blocking, and he had a catch and stuff like that. We seen, Chris Olave will be there. Rashid Shaheed is not going to be there because he's shut down for the preseason. Traquan Smith still dealing with a groin issue. They cut James Washington. So other guys that's 3 wide receivers that's unavailable right now. That's James Washington's off the team. Traquan Smith dealing with a groin issue. I don't know if he plays this upcoming game. And then Rashid Shaheed shut down. So that's 3 wide receivers off the depth chart right away. So guys like Brian Edwards, A.T. Perry, Shaq Davis, Quan Baker, Lynn Bowden Jr., and Jontre Kirkland really have a chance to get seen. They really have a chance to really get seen. Of course, James Washington got released. He got cut. So the team could add running back Darrell Williams to the team. So that was the move they had to make. So the Saints offensive line, pinning Pete, or if Pete's not ready to go, more than likely it'll be Hurst, McCoy, Ruiz, and Ramczyk there. Tight ends, Juwan Johnson Foster Monroe, Jimmy Graham, Taysom Hill, those guys in first team. Well, not first team, but you see Juwan Johnson roll out. Taysom was later on in the game there. Elvin Kamara gets his reps in there. Then later on, you see Jamal Williams rolling there. Adam Prentice doing his thing as well. So it's going to be a very interesting thing if Dennis Allen so decides to say, hey, man, let's get him on out there. Defense, we've seen Carl Granderson, Kalen Sanders, Nate Shepard, Cam do his thing. We've seen Peyton Turner provide some pressure. We've seen Brian Breesy out there doing some stuff, trying to do some stuff. Tanu Passanyo has really stepped up, and people saying, "What's up with Foskey, Q?" Well, fam, he's learning, and then somebody else is really pressing past him, and it's Tanu Passanyo. Did you get that? But Passanyo is passing up Isaiah Foskey. Now, we talked about Passanyo being the fifth guy. Passanyo said, I heard what y'all was saying. And listen, let me tell you something. Didn't you catch that pass in my name, Passanyo? I'm passing these guys by. And he talked about that because he's not playing in the interior defensive line. See, I was like, man, Passanyo should be a guy that we have interiorly speaking because he's massive. He's 6'7". He's a big guy that can really play when he's healthy. Why don't we use him inside? And I'm pretty sure as the regular season gets going, you'll probably see him shift and do that because the Saints will move these guys around so they see fit. But currently, Passanyo's been just strictly an in, and he has been very good. And people like Q, like Gundam just asked me about Foskey. Foskey's going to get it eventually, but Passanyo is really handling his business, fam. Like in these practices, he's constantly providing pressure. He's held to block, and he's going to continue to kind of keep the pressure on, man, so to speak, because people thought Passanyo was an afterthought. Saints gave him a multi-year deal, and he's healthy, and he's ready to step up and show what he can do. So, man, let me tell you something, man. Passanyo's making it hard on a few guys, but Isaiah Foskey, he still makes the team. But Passanyo really is having a solid camp, man, to be honest with you. And I've been talking about, like, man, he's been doing his thing. So Passanyo, fam, we can't forget about him. And of course, we see the other guys there. Pete Werner, Demario Davis. We won't expect to see Demario Davis in this game. I think probably you won't see Demario Davis for the rest of the preseason. And that's a precaution that I think is a good thing. As long as he's ready when the games count, is fine with me. Zach Bowen was another thing. And of course, a few practices this past week, fam, we seen the Saints add Jalen Smith, the former Cowboy and Giant, to the club, and he's been listed right behind Zach Bowen. A couple of the practices, the Saints actually put him ahead on the first team to see what he can do, and Zach Bowen then rotated in. So I was like, I found that interesting, but at the same time, the Saints do realize that Jalen Smith is very athletic. He's not perfect. He can cover a lot of field. He was a Pro Bowler at some times. He was very productive with the Cowboys. He had some good production with the Giants when he was there as well. And Zach Bowen he's going to push Zach Bowen. So you got a young veteran linebacker here with a chip on his shoulder, got something to prove, that still has something left to give. Still a solid. He's been in the league for like 8 years now. I want to say 8 years, going on 9 years for Jalen Smith. So yeah, and him and Demario, and he's the second most experienced linebacker of all our linebacker core. So we'll get into that a little later on, and I'm gonna get you guys' thoughts on that. And then, of course, Paulson Adebo, Laddie Daddy, and we talk about Marcus May, Tyrann Mathieu, whoever the slot man going to be. More than likely, it's Alontae Taylor and a few other guys that we want to see, as we have 2 games left. And, of course, we're going to start getting down real soon to the cut time when we start looking at guys kind of get peeled off out of this thing and what it'll start really looking like. But the injuries to the wide receiver room has really given opportunities for guys that probably we wouldn't have seen very much of. So Rashid Shaheed and Traquan Smith and James Washington get cut. That's 3 slots of people that's not going to be seen. So we'll get an opportunity to see the others make an impact to the team. So that's some about depth chart stuff right there that we're going over here. And of course, let me share with you guys the unofficial depth chart that's provided by ourlads.com. And this is given everybody on here, as you can see, the first team right there, Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and then you see behind those guys in the backups, Keith Kirkwood, A.T. Perry. You see Traquan there, Brian Edwards, Quan Baker, Lynn Bowden Jr., Shaq Davis, and John Trey Kirkland. We've seen Kirkland doing his kick return, punt return thing as they're trying to figure out who the punt return, kick return are between John Trey Kirkland and Lynn Bowden Jr. So that's going to be interesting to see who finally gets it, as John Trey was a late comer to the party. so to speak. But he had a couple of returns, one of which that really looked good. And he had, if he can have shaken one guy, he would have took it to the house. But yeah, he had two kick returns that were very impressive in the Kansas City Chief game. Can he kind of keep making an impression there with the team? So that'll be cool if John Trey makes the team as a kick return. We've seen with Shaq Davis made a really good catch in the game and stuff like that. So a lot of positive stuff from my wide receivers. Like I said, Traquan groin issue, Rashid Shaheed groin issue, and they released James Washington. That gives these other guys, the aforementioned guys I mentioned, an opportunity to step up and make a name for themselves or be seen to possible land a spot. Because a couple of them guys going to end up on the practice squad, depending on with the Saints, how many wide receivers the Saints keep. So I think 5 wide receivers family, to be honest with you, because I don't see them putting A.T. Perry on the practice squad. I don't see that. I think A.T. Perry does enough to make the 4th spot for the wide receiver. And I think the 5th wide receiver spot is a kick returner, punt return position between Bowden or John Trey Kirkland. We'll see how it all fares out. But anyway, let's get to the running back room. We talked about the running backs here, and that's something that we're paying attention to here. You can follow along right here. Jamal Williams is there. We know Elvin Kamara is healthy, looked really good in the game. He's football ready any day. You can be the middle of the summertime, or you can be whatever. Elvin Kamara is ready to play football. It's just he stays in shape all the time. So he looked good in the matchup. Jamal Williams looked smooth in the matchup. Kendre Miller, who was dinged up, just narrowly, he avoided having some surgery or something like that. So he'll be ready for the regular season, according to what some of the people are saying and the insiders are saying. So that's a positive, but the Saints are not taking any shorts here. So I don't know if Kendre Miller, if I'm the Saints, I don't play Kendre Miller for the rest of the regular season. I'm gonna try to, I'm saying, he could be at practice stretching and doing all this stuff. But preseason stuff, yeah, we'll see how it is. They said it wasn't nothing you narrowly avoided, whatnot kind of stuff. But I don't know. I'm feeling kind of in my feelings about that. I might not let him participate. You guys tell me how you feel about that. But Ellis Merriweather got a lot of reps. We'll see Darrell Williams, the former LSU guy, step in there and make a difference. So this is a solid move for the Saints to pick up Darrell Williams to the team. 5'11", 220 plus pounds. You can see his statistics right there. His rushing stats from 2018 to 2022. His best year was 2021, the last year with the Kansas City Chiefs. He played 17 games, carried the ball 144 times for 558 yards. He averaged 4 yards a carry. He had 6 rushing touchdowns in that year, and he's a quality running back, and he's just the type of running back the Saints could use in this style of system. He's a north-south thumper who got some wiggle with him, and he has the ability to a degree to catch the ball out the backfield. He had 47 catches in that 21 season, off of 57 targets for 452 yards. He averaged almost 10 yards a catch in that 21 year with 2 receiving touchdowns. So he does show you the propensity to be able to thump you and then turn around and catch the ball out the backfield. Both things that the Saints like. He's also a pretty good blocker as well, picking up the block as well. Sturdy running back. So very smart move for the black and gold. It's not a name grab like you was looking at Lenny Fournette. That didn't happen. But they got an LSU running back from Marrero, Mr. Williams. So still a very good positive. Looking forward to see what he has. And he's wearing number 34. He's wearing that 34 number. So we'll see what he brings in the matchup. His impact to the Saints running back room, I think, will be very positive because it gives you the ability to kind of sit Kendre if you don't want to use him. I heard Kirk Merritt has a slight injury, but Kirk Merritt's not a north-south runner. He's more of a scat back, a satellite style back. He's a receiver converted running back type dude that gives him the versatility to be able to use and stuff like that. And he's very, very versatile. But the rest of these guys, when you talk about Ellis Merriweather and Darrell Williams, these are north-south thumper backs that are hard to bring down. Like we showed, Williams averages, I think his career average is 4 yards per carry. For his career, I want to say. Yeah, 4 yards. There it is. For his career in the last several years he played, he averages 4 yards per carry. Last year with the Cardinals, he really did. He played in 6 games, had 21 carries. He averaged almost 5 yards a carry, had 1 rushing touchdown. So it's showing you that the guy does have some power to his game, and adding him there with the Saints helps us out. as well. So interested to see where he is. Ellis Merriweather going to get a lot of reps too, but Darrell Williams is another guy we're going to keep an eye out. That was a very good signing for the Saints to kind of help out moving ahead. So how does that look? Now let's kind of move on down to the linebacker room here. We talk about the linebackers. We've been talking about the linebackers for a while. The Saints did fantastic stuff with the draft, bringing in guys. We talked about Brian Bresee, and then we talked about Isaiah Foskey, first and second round picks to fortify what the Saints were doing from a defensive line perspective. Carl Granderson here is playing with a chip on his shoulder, 1 year left on his contract. They bring in Colin Sanders here, the big nose tackle, to help out. Nate Shepard was a guy that could sit next to him until Brian Bresee was ready to take over the reins as a first-round draft pick. Then you re-sign Malcolm Roach, and then you add guys that are like Jack Heflin, these guys are actually doing pretty good. Jack Heflin has been doing pretty solidly in camp, constant giving pressure. Jack Heflin might turn into something. Prince Emil had a few things. I heard Colin Sanders talking about Emil. He talked about all those guys and Big Jaron Cage. So Jack Heflin has been doing some stuff here. So we'll see what's going on here. But any one of these guys or any one of them, are they a threat to Malcolm Roach? I don't see anybody threatening him at this point. But Jack Heflin is a guy that's tough to block and has been given some pressure there. So Jaron Cage has been doing a few things. He hadn't been flashing like I thought, but maybe he'll be a late bloomer. He better start getting on it because we're getting close to the cut time. So he better get it shaking and moving. But real positive stuff. Now, we talk about the line. I don't know why I started talking about that defensive line because it's so important. But the linebacker position is where I wanted to kind of focalize, baby. There you go. Word of the day, word of the week. Focalize. We got to focalize on the linebacker core. Demario Davis, I doubt we'll see him for the rest of the preseason. We'll see. Pete Werner is a guy we've seen in a few reps there. But we've been looking at the linebacker core to see which one of these young guys could step up and make their presence felt. Zach Bowen, in the final year of his contract, third-round draft pick, the Saints moved up to go and get, really has been the Traquan Smith of the defense, so to speak. He's not really done what we thought he should do. And now with Demario Davis having a calf issue, the Saints brought in a linebacker. First, they looked at your boy, Anthony Barr, and then he got to moving. And then the Saints looked at Jalen Smith, says, look, Jalen Smith will work. And really, Jalen Smith fits better than Anthony Barr, to be honest with you. I think because he has a little bit more athleticism than Barr. But Jalen Smith could help us by pushing Zach Bowen, not off the team, but creating a competition where Zach Bowen will have to get his stuff right. So he's Zach Bowen. We played the interview several weeks ago where Zach Bowen says that he knows this offense, that he knows the defense, and now it's time for him to step up and show what he can do. So we'll see if it's truly a right competition or a righteous competition that may the best person win the job. That didn't happen last year under Dennis Allen, so I question his picking ability when it comes down to picking 53 people. Remember last year, you don't get all of them right because some of them was gimmies, but there were a few tough ones that you had to nail that he failed on, like the Eric Wilson linebacker move. We wouldn't be talking about needing to go get a linebacker if they'd have kept Eric Wilson here. He's somewhere making things pop for the Packers and doing a good job. So we still deciding to figure out who's going to be the guy to be there in a linebacker room. With Jalen Smith, 1 year deal here, could he push Zach Bowen into playing better? Or could he just push Zach Bowen out of the way and take his position as the third linebacker in case something happens with DeMario or Pete Werner? You see what I'm saying? So you guys let me know. And there are a few other guys. DeMarco Jackson was making plays on the field in the Kansas City game. Nephi Sewell was flashing. Anthony Orji was out there. Ty Summers did some positive stuff. Ryan Connolly did some things as well. So they had a couple of the special teams linebackers, and I think some of those guys will make maybe one or two of those guys will make the team as a special teams linebacker because that's what they're looking at doing. But seriously speaking, I don't know if we have a guy, Nephi Sewell or DeMarco Jackson. Those guys are what we're looking at as the future of the linebacker position. So there's still some time, I guess, where we have to be able to go through the next 2 weeks or so of camp to figure out who's starting to separate themselves from the rest of the pack. So, yes, we talk about the contributions of Jalen Smith, the linebacker we brought in, and Darrell Williams, the running back we brought in here to go along with the room. So Darrell Williams, if he can just do what he do, is possibly that he can make the team because obviously the Saints will be marching into the regular season with 3 running backs, right? They're going to put Kamara will be on the suspension list. It'll be Jamal Williams, Kendre Miller, and Darrell Williams. Does Darrell Williams eclipse Ellis Merriweather? Ellis Merriweather ends up on the practice squad. Darrell Williams end up on the starting roster at least for the first 3 weeks of the season. You know, he's an experienced back that's been there, that's seen some stuff, and he's not beat down or run down, and he can still give you a good production. So we're starting there, and from the linebacker position, if Jalen Smith's still there, I don't see why he doesn't make the team, being that he's the second most experienced linebacker there with a lot to give. So you guys chime in and let me know how you feel about that as well. So let me share that. And there goes Jalen Smith's profile page right here in this last year, 46 solo tackles and a sack for the Giants. And actually, that's solo stats. His total tackles, he had 88 total tackles last year with the Giants. And this is his numbers. And this is very productive numbers for him. 6'2", 240, 28 years of age, right? Drafted by the Giants out of Notre Dame. His head coach was Brian Kelly, our current coach at LSU. That's cool. Second round pick 34. Remember, they drafted him. He was hurt with the microfracture stuff. He had to wait a couple years to play. And finally, he got an opportunity to play. And did he play? So you look at his numbers from 2017 to 2020. 2020, they were pretty popping. 81 tackles. His total tackles that year. He had a sack in that year, and then he just took off in the second in 2018. 121 tackles total. Then the next year, 142 tackles. Then of 2020, his biggest year, 154 tackles. You know, and that was just astounding what he was doing. And then 21, I think he got hurt in 21. He played 4 games at 18 tackles. Then they didn't re-sign him. And then he ended up going to the Giants in 13 games, and he got 88 tackles, 46 of them, which solo, and he got a sack and did his thing. So from what you see from Jalen Smith, he's not perfect, but he's a guy that can cover some field here. He got some experience, and he was saying, we played his press conference, his interview on TSC Patreon, our Patreon member stream the yesterday, matter of fact, on Tuesday, and we were reacting to him talk about his fit in this defense. He said, "Oh yeah, I played in this defense before. I have some." He says, "I don't think it'll take me long." That's what he said. That he actually said that. He was like, "Hey man." You know, he said, "Yeah, what do you think about the defense?" Y'all put one in the chat if y'all heard him say that, fam. Put one in the chat if y'all heard that. Y'all put one in the chat, because I love that confidence that he had. He was saying, he said they was asking him about his exposure to the defense. He was like, "Oh yeah, I know. I'm familiar with this defense. Yeah, I'm familiar with the defensive scheme, yada yada." He said it won't take long. It won't take long. Shout out to you, Jamaica. What's popping, Queen? All right, so yeah, man, this is going to be an interesting deal, because listen, and I don't want. I'm not gonna say, Quan. I was like, Quan, you shouldn't have left nowhere, brother. But anyway, but the Jalen Smith thing, it works out because we ain't paying them a lot of money, him or Darrell Williams, a lot of money to be here. But they are young veterans that are very productive, especially Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith's numbers these are pretty good numbers in the 1 year, the 21 year he was hurt. And of course, remember when they drafted him, I think it was 2 years that he was not playing because they drafted him hurt, remember? And he had to get healthy. Jerry went and drafted him. It was a fantastic move for Jerry to do that, because he knew the kid was going to be good. And he had the microfracture surgery and all that kind of stuff. So he took a year or so to get healthy. But boy, when he got healthy, look what the numbers that this kid put up. And like I said, young productive veterans, and not worn out people. That's why it's like, this is if you think about it, even though Barr, I guess you could say Barr is more respected for what he did with Minnesota, but Barr is an older veteran player. Jalen Smith's a young veteran with a lot of production. And like I said, the dude was a multi-Pro Bowler, and the Saints get him as their third linebacker. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good at the linebacker level, where the great Saint think tank and the Who Dat Nation was saying, bro, we need to get this line. We need another linebacker. What y'all doing? Zach Bowen is not it. And I'm not saying no disrespect to Zach Bowen, but sometimes we need a little competition. You know, sometimes that's in sports. You need something, a little extra incentive, extra motivation to kind of make sure you understand what you're doing, because they got a guy that's right here that could be a problem for you. You know, if you won't stay in the league, you got a problem for you, because this guy has been productive in two separate stints with two different teams, and he's bringing that to New Orleans, and he's talking like, oh, it won't take me long to figure out what they're doing, because I played in this style of system before. It's terrific. All right, so anyway, shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all being here. If y'all got any questions, what's up, brother Jared? How you doing? All right, what's up, Barbara? Good to see Barbara in here. Shout out to you, Queen. All right, y'all throw it in the chat, man. Y'all got any questions right quick or comments, man? Y'all can please feel free to throw them in the chat, man. Let me know how you guys feel about some of this stuff that we covering. What's up, Dana? Shout out to you, baby. Pammy, good to see you in the chat as well. The queens are representing. Much love to all the beautiful queens in here. My dog Molly Maul was popping, brother. Good to see you in here as well, and the rest of the fam. Much love to everybody. Brother Eric, I see you, sir. Appreciate you being here as well. Demetrius, much love, fam. Appreciate you. T Dirty. What's happening, T Dirty? Hey, bro, I seen your vid, man, with you getting up in the morning for the game day. Shout out to my dog, T Dirty, man. T Dirty got a Saint toothbrush and every damn thing. T Dirty got everything Saint. Shout out to my brother, T Dirty, man. Much love. Very, very, very imaginative and very smart skit you did there, bro. Shout out to my boy, Philip, man. Appreciate you, bro. How you doing, sir? He said, I agree about Bowen. He's a liability in the passing game. Yes, sir. Bro, in practices, man, listen, you know what? Bro, you true to form on that. Zach Bowen, that's a part of his game that he still struggles with. And I don't think it's difficult for us to diagnose that he's not very good in it, because the tape shows that he's not very good in it. But to me, and y'all give y'all spill on why he's not good, it seems like it's and I call it anticipation. His anticipatory, how I phrase it, his anticipation. I'm just gonna say his anticipatory abilities. That's what I'm trying to get out of here. His anticipatory abilities, if that's a word, Jesse. He's a type of dude that is reading. You can see he's reading the plays, but he reacts just like a little slow, and at times his angles are not good. You see what I'm saying? So if he can work on his anticipation abilities and what he's seeing, I think that'll help him out. But when you got Jalen Smith, who's actually a lot better than him at that part of his game playing a linebacker, because Zach Bowen, credit to him, Zach Bowen will get after you. He'll go and get the quarterback and sack you and bring you down. He's a good tackling linebacker. But the other part of the game is dropping into coverage and covering running backs out of the backfield. He struggles with that. Covering the tight ends, anticipating where they're going to be, seeing where you need to be. Because we've had linebackers here that didn't have the best straight speed, you know what I'm saying? But they were well positioned. If you think about guys like who we had like that was here that I could think about, like linebackers that didn't have the great athleticism, but they knew they had great vision. They knew to put themselves in certain areas where they weren't out of position. We had quite a few of them. So that's a part of Zach Bowen's game that I personally see when I look at Zach Bowen. His anticipation's off, and he takes poor angles at times. And that's a part of the game. That's not going to help. Now, if Jalen Smith is what I'm anticipating him being, what he did with the Dallas Cowboys in a year he played solidly with the Giants last year, if he brings that here, Zach Bowen's in trouble. The only issue is, does Dennis Allen do what he did last year and says, when it comes down to Zach Bowen and Eric Wilson, does he say, I take Zach Bowen? You know, and then Eric Wilson on the practice squad, somebody pilfers him later on in the year. Or does he say, I got Jalen Smith here? You see what I'm saying? Is this the year Zach Bowen is going if Jalen Smith beats him out for the third linebacker position? That's a question I'm asking. Does Dennis Allen pull the trigger and say, you're out of here? I don't know, bro. I don't really know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. I don't know. All right. So anyway, Yeah, okay, yeah. Barber says Vilma. Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't that's a great one, Barber, by the way. That's actually a really great one. Because Jonathan Vilma, when he was with the Jets, Jonathan Vilma had, he had some athleticism with him. But remember, Jonathan Vilma, I remember he got hurt. And that's how the Saints was able to pick up Jonathan Vilma. He was like a reclamation project that the Saints has because he got hurt with the Jets and the Jets released him. If my recollection serves, y'all back me up in the Great Saint Think Tank, man. Um, I remember he got hurt with the Jets because Jonathan Vilma was a guy that flew around the field. He got hurt with the Jets. The Jets put him in, they released him, and the Saints picked him up, and he was a bit of a reclamation project for the Saints. And he took off, regained his, he had the vision and everything. And seeing that Jonathan Vilma was no big guy, but Jonathan Vilma was a guy that had the ability to be around the ball. He didn't take all the poor angles and all that kind of stuff. But I remember him being hurt. If my mind serves me correctly, I remember him being hurt with the Jets getting rid of him. The Saints picked him up as a reclamation project, and that's how that stuff kind of popped and went. So, man, let me tell you, that was something interesting. Okay, K-Man said they both make the team. Okay, okay, cool. Okay, shout out to you, K-Man. Thank you. Yeah, that would be easy when Dennis Sound say, hey, they all both make the team. Well, what one of these other linebackers? Somebody got to play special teams, right? So, well, we'll see how it all goes, man. Tim, shout out to you, fam. Good to see you in the chat. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, man, to say the least about some of the stuff that we've been seeing dealing with the black and gold, man, and which direction they go. But yeah, these are solid young veteran free agent pickups for the New Orleans Saints. Getting Darrell Williams, getting a Jalen Smith and bringing him here. We were pushing for the Saints for all of the offseason. Like, where's the linebacker at? Zach Bourne's going to need somebody to push him. If there's an injury with the linebacker room, and it took all but a calf issue from Demario Davis for the Saints to say, oh, let's go in the room and go see if we can find somebody out there. And then they ain't go at the bottom of the barrel and pick up some guy that you need to put a generic Saints helmet on his picture so that you can write a story about him. No, they actually got guys that were Pro Bowlers that had multiple Pro Bowl years, respectable linebackers like Anthony Barr, who's respectable, who could still has some gas in the tank, a young veteran like Jalen Smith, who was a Pro Bowler as well, and bring him on the team. And they're doing really good. Like Darrell Williams is a really good acquisition for the Saints to bring for a third running back, to make the team. These are solid moves that show you that the Saints are serious about winning this year. They're not going to get no-name guys that won't have an opportunity to have an impact. They're getting young veterans with experience that can, if something happened, that can be moved in to keep this thing moving. So that's the type of energy, that's the type of mind frame and plan that you need to keep having success. If something happens during the season, you go out there with the $13 million or whatever the Saints currently have. Matter of fact, let me take a look at that. Let me see how much money these people got. I ain't checking the last couple of days. Let me see what give me a second, fam. Let me see what the Saints, because that just popped up on my mind. Check the Saints cap figure right now. Okay, it dropped a bit, fam. Okay. All right. The cap figure dropped to about 8 million. They just over 8 million. That's according to Sport Track. Let me check over the cap right quick. Give me just a second, fam. Let me check it over. Let me check that right quick. Okay, over the cap is saying, okay, all right, they got it at 11.4. Okay. All right, so over the cap, which is a lot of people prefer them over Sport Track, is saying that the Saints money is at 11.4 mil. And Sport Track is saying the Saints are just over $8 million. So between 8 to 11.4 is a nice little gap in money. But okay, interesting. All right, so, but yes, that's what it took. So the Saints still got money, man. They still have some money to be able to do some things here to keep things shaking and moving in the city. And I just like the way they're doing that. They're moving and handling the business. And of course, during the season, there could be possible things that can happen. There's still the Zach Bourne, the Cesar Ruiz card to be played. There's several offensive linemen the Saints might need to address. And, usually kind of look at things during the season. We'll see how it all looks as we go forward. But the Jalen Smith deal is just over $1 million. What was it? 1 year, a mil, just over $1 million for him. So they got him cheap cheap. I don't know if y'all seen that contract according to Sport Track, but here's the Jalen Smith contract that signed with the team. 1 year, just over $1 million right there. Annual salary there, you see it, and cap hit of 940 grand. So that's Sport Track showing you that it's just a 1 year deal. We know it was a 1 year deal, but just showing you guys here. But yeah, it's interesting, man, to see exactly how this stuff is going to all turn and go. So, any questions, fam? Y'all throw it in the chat before we get ready to get on up out of this thing. All right, Tuck Graph says 8 mil. They could lower the beer. Well, that was Sport Track, and a lot of people prefer over the cap because of the resources. A lot of that is executives and people like that that's feeding them the information, and they figure it's the best. But it's really, I use both of them because usually the figure is somewhere in the middle between both of them. But one is saying 8 or just over 8, and another one is saying 11.4, which would make sense because the Saints had 13 million, and they spent like $1 million on Jalen Smith, just over $1 million on Darrell Williams. So that would take $2 million off of the cap. So that would put them at 11 something $million, somewhere between 10 and 11 million, unless something else hit. So so I would have to say that's probably where it is. All right. So anyway, fam, 11.4 says Quavadius. Yeah, I just seen that, man. I probably would kind of lean on that side of things, man. But yeah, anyway, that's what it comes down to when we talk about the linebacker position. So it's good to see Jalen Smith there to push Zach Bowen, because Zach Bowen still showing his inability to play the pass. That's problematic. That could be a big issue because people will target the hell out of him, man. If we have an issue with Pete Werner, God forbid, or Demario Davis, God forbid, that could be pretty big for us if Zach Bowen is in there. And Zach Bowen is, getting they're going to target Zach Bowen, and he getting towed up by Kyle Pitts or, what I'm saying, Juju Smith or they just targeting him because they know that guy can't cover that good. Just, throw it at him. So it could be problematic. So hopefully we don't have to deal with that. All right, Tuck Graph says Mickey Loomis acts like there's no cap. He really do. Ramsey says, who that Q? How did Smoke Monday do in preseason game against the Chiefs? Not much to talk about with Smoke. Smoke is doing all right. He had a few flashes here or there. You'll hear Smoke Monday making some plays right here, but there are a lot of other guys that you hear more than him. You hearing more Hugo Amadi. He had the interception in the game off Alante Taylor, got there and got his hand on the ball to deflect it, and Hugo Amadi was around the ball like we know he always is, makes the interception on the play, and he's the one in practice that's showing up making these things happen. So you hear from him. A few things from Jordan Howden. Jonathan Abrams, not as much as I would like to hear on Jonathan Abrams, but Lonnie Johnson Jr. had a few things as well. So there are a few other guys there. And Smoke, here or there, you'll hear stuff from Smoke as well. But, we need to hear more from him over the next 2 weeks to kind of, if he's trying to push for a position, he's kind of back there. So he's going to have to start flashing quick, man, or he's definitely headed toward the practice squad. So, yeah, it's a lot of competition in the safety room. So we'll see what's happening with Smoke Monday, man. Yeah, Cubatus. We talk. Yeah, the hit was something. He had a big hit there. That's not bad. All right. Rams says, Q, how long you think it'll work on Foskey before they cut him? I don't think they cut Foskey. I don't think they cut Foskey. I think right now, and the family was talking about this because how Foskey look in the game, and I think he will improve. I really do. But I just think other people are looking better than Foskey right now. Like coming into this thing, we kind of look past Passanio, and Passanio is like, hold on, don't pass me by. Watch me pass this guy by. And Passanio been stepping up, and Passanio been looking good. And truth be told, Passanio has looked really solid. I mean, he's been what? If you want to talk about the defensive end, we know Cam look what excluding Cam and how they've been playing and Camp. And Cam's always what Cam does. He's a standard. But you want to talk about other guys that's really playing hard. Carl Granderson and Peyton Turner look good, but Passanio is a dude that really been handling this damn business. I mean, he's healthy, and he has been a load for them to block, and he's been turning it up, and he has looked a lot really good. He's like with them. He's grouped with those guys, like looking really good. Then we forget about the fact that uh, Passanio and Colin Sanders used to be on the team. So I was like, damn, that makes all the sense in the world. But he's another big guy, 6'7", 300-pound monster that's pass rushing, that's been working and getting better because he was hurt last year. Remember, he was doing some positive things for the Saints. He got banged up. We lost him for the rest of the year. He's back with a vengeance, and he's been playing his ass off this camp, and he's just looked a lot better. And then, of course, it's Isaiah Foskey. He has to pick it up. That's one thing. He's a young player. He'll get it. But another thing is, with guys playing like that, Foskey can kind of, I don't know if I can say take his time, but he's going to take some time to learn the position. And eventually, you rather have all of these great guys, but eventually Foskey will flash. But he's a rookie, and all these other guys have been in the league 4 years. You got Peyton Turner's been in the league. This is his 3rd year. Granderson's been in the league for 5 years. He's been with the Saints for 5 years. This is his 5th season. So Granderson is playing well. He knows all the ins and outs of what he needs to do. He's improved every year, and Granderson's solid. So you got Granderson there, 5 years. Peyton Turner there, 3 years. Passanio, what's Passanio? Like 7, 8 years. I want to say Passanio been in the league. Is it that long for Passanio? Let me check on that. It got to be every bit of like 7 to 8 years for Passanio. I want to say. I don't know. 7 years. Yes, 7 years. So those guys have got him beat by a lot of time. So it's going to take some time for him to figure it out. But I think we all right. I think he'll be all right. Tim says, let's bring in Clowney to the Saints. Why, bro? What we need Clowney for? I don't think we need Clowney. I don't think we need him. What's up, brother Anthony? How you doing, sir? Good to see you. JT says, I think Shaq will make the team and the linebackers will field the special teams. You think Shaq Davis makes the team? Let me see. Okay, brother JT, you think he makes the team over A.T. Perry? Because we know what our first top 3 wide receivers are going to be. So who's who's the other 2? You're thinking like they're going to keep 5 because they're not going to put A.T. Perry on the practice squad the way he playing. So does Shaq Davis beat out A.T. Perry for a spot? And then you also have to reserve a spot for a return man, somebody that's going to kick return, punt return. Shaq Davis doesn't return any punts, neither does A.T. Perry. So you got it's a spot for A.T. Perry and the spot for Shaq Davis, the same damn spot. And then you look at the kick returner position, the 5th spot, which is going to be more probably between Lynn Bowden Jr. and Jontre Kirkland for the kick return position. You gotta have the returner spot. So, I think AT and Shaq are battling for that 4th spot for the wide receiver position for that guy that's behind the guy if he gets banged up and he has to step in and make something happen. And then you get down to it, you got to decide on which one of these guys look ready to go. Which one of these guys look ready to go and ready to contribute right away. Well, to me, that's A.T. Perry. That's A.T. Perry got in that game, 6 targets, 6 catches. He had a fantastic outing. The touchdown, he had the effort to go and dive for it. We knew what he was doing at Wake Forest. We knew he had the speed. He had concentration issues. And I said, when they drafted him, I said, oh, man, Cody Burns will get that out of him. And Cody Burns has been handling the business. So with those wide receivers. So Shaq Davis, I like Shaq. I don't know if he makes the team. I would have to go with A.T. Perry over him. I think Shaq will probably end up on the practice squad. But if injuries start mounting up, you never know what happens, bro. So we'll see. What's up, brother Slim? How you doing, sir? All right. So anyway, yeah, I don't know if I would say I wouldn't have. I don't think they cut him, bro. All right. T Dirty says, yeah. Traquan said, what time you gonna pick? I think it's a far gone conclusion that that he's out of here, fam. Yeah, you're not gonna practice squad A.T. Perry. I'm sorry. The Saints, he's a 6th round draft pick. The Saints picked up. They're not gonna practice squad A.T. Perry. So Shaq Davis, it's a good problem to have, is what it is, because we got these guys and somebody got to end up on the practice squad because injuries happen and we might have to pull guys from the practice squad on the active roster during the season. But in the end, it's inevitable that Traquan Smith is going to be right now. He got a growing issue. Right now, he's suffering from a growing issue. Other guys are getting their shine on. A.T. Perry got the ultimate shine. And all the thing he has to do is just keep doing, stay healthy and keep doing maybe not 6 for 6 outings, but just be solid. And he'll make the squad. And like I said, the Saints who drafted this man to replace Traquan Smith because they got tired of waiting for him. We've given them chance after chance. And listen, this is the end. This is the end for him. Don't, who out there didn't think, oh, they're going to cut Traquan Smith? Who out there? We've seen this happening because we've been talking about it for years. Because the man is not the first one in the building. He's not the last one to leave. He got Mike Thomas as a teammate. And I still don't understand what Mike Thomas, Taysom Hill, and the guys that he had in that building and his same group, how he wasn't 5 times better than what he is now is beyond me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to Traquan Smith. I don't know what you got going on. But all I'm saying is, how could you not be better than what you was and you have Michael Thomas as your teammate? All you have to do is just go follow Michael Thomas around because all he do is just want to win. He trying to thumb wrestle. He's trying to win. Everything he trying to win. He playing toss the bottle. He trying to win. Horseshoes. You know what I'm saying? Just follow Michael Thomas around. Look what Rashid Shaheed did, and he became great. He became overnight. Working with Chris Olave. Michael Thomas knows how to help guys that's in it. How did he not help you? That's the question. We don't need to be talking about whether or not the Saints are going to keep Traquan Smith. That's a far gone conclusion. The real question and the real mystery to the Traquan Smith thing is, how did Traquan Smith not be better than what he is? And he got Michael Thomas as a teammate. That's the bigger question. Explain that one to me. Well, Michael Thomas ain't a good teacher. Tell that to Rashid Shaheed. Tell that to Chris Olave. So that's not an excuse. Next, Traquan Smith's dedication to the game. That's what it comes down to being a better person. Not a person, but a better player, which can translate to being a better person as well. But maybe he needs a breath of fresh air or a change of environment. Maybe we're just too good here for him. Maybe he needs a stinky garbage time team they can go to and shine to make himself feel better. Well, I would definitely invite him to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No disrespect to the Bucks. To go to the Atlanta Falcons. No disrespect to the Falcons. Or the Carolina Panthers. No disrespect. You could take Traquan Smith and you can help him out, and he can go there and block well for you and drop passes that he's supposed to catch. We've seen enough. We've had enough. We've given him 5, 6 years. He's been in for 5 years now. He worked all the way through his 3rd round contract, and then the Saints bring him back for an extra year, and he still don't do nothing. Man, it's time to go, man. Let's go, man. What we talking about? What we talking about? He even know that. His people know it's over with. This is a competitive business. You have to produce. You got to produce in the NFL. This is a positive result. They say it's a result-driven business. No. It is a positive result. It's a big difference between result-driven and positive result-driven, because you can get a result. It's a difference, but it's a positive result-driven business. That's how this thing goes, and you have to produce. The man does not produce, and blocking is not enough. So the Saints line up all of these people to compete with him and push him further. And the Saints even gave him an extra year on top of it to figure out whether or not he can finally do it. And he still didn't do it. So, this is a far gone conclusion. It's A.T. Perry time now. Traquan Smith, man, whatever, man. Traquan Smith the hell up out of here, man. All right, Quaveda said the way they're releasing Traquan might stick around again. He's selling. Yeah, let me tell you, bro. When it come down to Dennis Allen picking 53-man roster like what he did last year, the ones that really came down, like he practice squad at Kirk Merritt, when Kirk Merritt was, to me, probably the preseason. Well, he was like the training camp MVP. He was really doing a lot of positive stuff for him last year. He was playing wide receivers, balling, running back. Oh, you won't play running back. He was doing that. Everything he was doing was positive, and he still practice squad at the man. And then when it came down to the linebacker position, I mentioned this before, Eric Wilson, who we picked up from Minnesota, signed him. He looked like Cam. He had the same Cam energy. Like, Cam is crazy. He got them big buck. He be bucking his eyes and looking. Somebody asks a question, and his head, snaps to the left and somebody to the right accident. He snaps. And I don't think Cam blinks. I think Cam's a robot. He doesn't blink. So his eyes are always open and they bucking. So he's like acting, he's looking right through you. He always comes, he got all that energy. But Eric Wilson had the same Cam type energy. He had the same bucking eyes and he had the same kid like energy that Cam had. And when he was out there playing, he was playing real well, like next to Demario Davis, like they played together for years. And he wasn't no rookie. He was a veteran that knew their scheme and their system, and he was perfect for the Saints. And Dennis Allen, who's a defensive-minded coach, took Eric Wilson and put him on the practice squad and put Zach Bourne on the active roster. And Zach Bourne didn't do a damn thing last year in the preseason and was coming off an injury. So how that work? So when that happened, that's like, what was that? What the hell was that? But in the end, that's what I'm saying. When it comes down to Pickens, when it gets down to the toughies, where does he go? Because I didn't like what he did last year on those two. You had playmakers there. You got to keep the playmakers and the guys that's not making the moves. You got to put them on the practice squad because they need more practice. Who on this team need more practice than Traquan Smith? I mean, maybe you can go practice for somebody else. That's a far-going conclusion, man. That ain't even nothing to talk about. He up out of here. No cap, no filter says, Q, you think we need a wide receiver and pass rusher to be set? I do. Yeah, well, Pat, you're right. The pass rushing position is very important, bro. Nothing works right on the defense with that pass rush there. Like we can have a top number one secondary in the league, but if we're not getting no pass rushing, guys can sit back there and look for stuff all day, bro. They'll kill your secondary. The pressure is what generates a lot of those people to speed the process up, to force them to make throws. With their offenses, you already know that the offenses are driven on time, and the whole thought process is disrupting the time. So one of the biggest mechanisms of time disruption from a defensive standpoint is we got to get pressure on the quarterback. So what the Saints astutely did this year was, as they knew that they had good edge rushers, what they did was they got the interior defensive line guys to provide a push. They looked at the tape and see, man, we wasn't getting no push last year from the interior perspective. That's the worst pressure that a quarterback, any quarterback, mobile or statue or otherwise, do not like. They do not like pressure from right into their face, like right up the center of the offensive line, pushing in. They do not like that. It throws everything off. It forces them to flee into the open hands of Cam Jordan, the Carl Granderson, the Peyton Turner, whoever's out there. They do not like that, and that's what the Saints focused on with the acquisitions of Saunders, Shepard, and Breesy. Those guys will provide that internal push that we didn't have last year. Not only would they stop the run, that's a far-going conclusion, but they'll provide the push. So you're right. So getting pass rush from our interior guys and from our exterior guys, that's very good. Passing Yo's a very bright spot too, because we know Foskey's still developing and he'll come along. But right now, we looking good. 5 deep, Cam, Granderson, Peyton Turner, Passing Yo, and eventually Foskey come along. We looking good 5 deep. So I'm feeling really good. And of course, if injuries start impacting us right here, we still got guys that can help us out. And then from the wide receiver perspective, you're right. Rashid Shaheed dinged up for the rest of the preseason. Michael Thomas is coming off of injury. He's been out for the last couple of not playing many games at all over the last several years. So you still need that depth there to help out. So I'm comfortable with seeing A.T. Perry there, but we'll see how it all goes, bro. But I think the Saints will put some people on the practice squad too. And if they stay how they've been doing right now, they keep that mentality going into the season when games do count. Like if there's an injury that pops up, let's go out here and get this wide receiver right away. I think that'll be fine. And plus, they have $11-something million according to over the cap. They have $11 million right now. So the Saints spent $1 million on Williams. They spent $1 million on Jalen Smith, and they got $11 million. That's perfect to have, especially when you're going into the season, because if injuries pop up at certain positions, you have the money to go out and address the need right away. That's the same damn thing Philadelphia did last year when they started getting injuries to the internal defensive line. The 2 starting defensive linemen got hurt. They went out to the free agency market, picked up Ndamukong Suh and that other big old guy, and that helped them to keep it together till some of them guys came back and they were able to make a deep playoff run. That's how you handle the business. So the Saints smartly keeping all this money on the side while getting young veterans that can impact. And as long as they stay progressive in doing that type of thinking, man, listen, they can make something pop and snap for us for real. Skylife, how you doing, sir? Appreciate you being here. All right. Yeah, much love, fam. Appreciate y'all being in the yeah. Tuck Rap says we were clearing house on defensive players and coaches. Yes, indeed. All right. Not quite, my brother. Not quite, man. But I do be around there, man. Y'all don't know. I be around there. All right. How you doing, brother Lee? Good to see you, fam. Appreciate you. Brother JT says Q, when you surprise us with the new bill. That's right. The new building on Poitras, huh? Nah, bro, I don't know where that's coming from. The new building on Poitras, brother. No, no, sir. Listen, fam. Yeah, it's been we've been together for a long time. Uh, talking Saints and for a long time, fam. We've been together for a long time, and it's a lot of stuff going on that's very positive. That's why I always thank you guys for the support and the love and just the time you give, because you really don't have to. You guys, it's a million things that you could be doing or watching, and we're here together at this time. And I think that's just so valuable. And I extend thanks to you guys for all the love and support that you've been given over the years. And all I can do is give you the love and all that stuff. It's a circle. It's a circle, baby. It's a circle. It's a circle of love, baby, going right back to you. So it's just fantastic. And all the financial support, the families from the members in the Patreon, we were able to do some fantastic things. It's just improving the platform overall. The whothatdaily.com website with the writers there doing terrific jobs there. And like I said, there's some other great things that's also on the horizon that we working on too. It's just, getting the projects and the stuff out of the way, moving forward, man. It's a labor of love, man. It's a commitment and dedication to the family. That's what it's about, man. About just having fun and enjoying the moment, man. Be honest with your family. I'm transparent. We had I had a friend of mine, like I told you the other show, that died from cancer. She had what was the type of cancer she had? It escapes me. Um, oh man, was it ovarian? I want to say it was ovarian cancer she had, and she lived a lot longer than what the doctor said she was supposed to live. I talked to her like maybe several weeks ago, and she was in pain. She lives in Texas, and of course I'm in Louisiana, but you know, um, we kind of lost contact with each other. And she reached back to me through Facebook, and I haven't spoken to her for like 20 years. And she was kind of explaining everything, and we talked, and we used to have. She talked. She was a person that talked about like love and relationship, like not physical, but like spiritual stuff like that. She was in that realm of thinking, like really great light. And not one time, I promise you, not one time, because I would send care packages like alkaline water, and I would send vibrational links and stuff for her to listen to help, stuff like that, man. Care packages. And not one time did I think that would end up the way it was. Not one time did I think. I said, you're gonna beat this, you're gonna make it through it, everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna celebrate. And she had pains and stuff where she couldn't talk, and she had bad days, good days, stuff like that. So the last few days prior to me finding out she passed away, I was, I'm telling you, it's real. It's like I was having, like thoughts, like, to call her, check on her, because she was like, I'll call you, because I'll call her, she wouldn't answer, because she going through pain, and I don't know if she was sleeping or whatnot. So I was like, look, you got my number, just reach out, just want to make sure you good. But she didn't make it. She didn't make it. And not one time in my whole process of talking to her since she reached back to me that I ever thought that would happen. Now that thought did not happen in my head. So when it hit me that she was transitioning, she was gone, two mixed feelings. Mixed feelings was, as of course, it's you human. Mixed feelings. my first feeling was like, damn, she gone, but you know what? She don't have to be in pain no more. She ain't in pain no more. She up in heaven because she was really a great person. Like she was a great person. I said the words like, today the world is a little dimmer, but in the absence of her light, 'cause she was a great person. So when that happened, I was like, damn, the world lost the real gem, and but she's not in pain no more. So that kind of made me feel really good that she's not suffering because she was suffering. She was suffering. Then the last message, she was saying that she found new masses and stuff in there, several new masses, and it was just, it was hard, and talking to her what she was going through, and you know, and she transitioned. So it goes to show you, like, and she was a big uh promoter of living your life, hugging your children, enjoying things like that. And I'm already an affectionate guy, so I hug my boys and I play with them and stuff like that. So she was a big advocate of not procrastinating, living in the moment. She was promoting, you need to take more pictures when you're in there cooking. Make sure, and I'm not really a picture taker, but because of her influence, saying that you need to capture some of these moments, and send me a picture of what you cooking and stuff like that. And I'll begrudgingly I do. I'll like, okay, all right, I'll send you a picture. I'm trying to cook, get up out and get off the damn stove. So I got stuff to do. But I did it, man. And it was positive, man. But much love to her, man. She's super cool, man, and she is now in heaven, man. And listen, man, it's tough, but that's some of the stuff that we talk about here, like enjoying life and the experience of talking to you guys and the family, and it's all, whether we win or lose, man, it's just the experience of enjoying this moment in time right now, and that's what it's about, enjoying the process. So let a very wise person who is transitioned to a greater life take her wise words and apply them. If these words are reaching your heart and your ears, use her wise words and apply them in your life. Don't procrastinate. Whatever you need to do that's positive, get it done and execute. Don't wait. So, that's what I'm doing there. So, all right. All right. So much love to the fam, man. Listen, I'm gonna get ready to get out on that. I appreciate you guys so much for listening to me and being here and spending some time with me in the stream. Um, Much love to everybody, man. Listen, tomorrow is Thursday. Is of course we know that's the Saints United stream that we usually do, where all the family members chime in. So listen, we'll be back here for Thursday. We'll get it kicked off with the Nola Bros, followed by my boys Hoodie, and then Randolph is there as well. Who That Nation United, baby, is going down. Also, to let the family members know that we was working on behind the scenes, family, of setting up the in the I'm sorry, the what you call it, the NFC South stream, fam. Y'all remember that? The NFC South stream with Low and the PNP and Big Game James. We always do those. Those are pretty cool when we able to get those done. So that one is also that'll be August the 21st, just to let some of the family members know. Matter of fact, let me see if I can put it up on the screen for some of the family members who to see. But it'll be August the 21st, fam, that we'll be having the NFC South Roundtable with Panther Nation podcast, Big Game James, Tacoma, and Big Low Country will all be in the house on Monday, August the 21st. So just be looking out for that, fam. That'll be real fun to kind of end up getting in there and talking some smack with our NFC South brethren. So anyway, with that being said, just a few things that'll be the end. I appreciate you guys for being here. Much yes, indeed. Yes, yes. Yeah, there he is. What's up, Lo? Much love to my dog, Lo, man. How you doing, sir? He says NFC South Roundtable. Much love. Yeah, we're gonna talk a little smack, man. We're gonna talk some football, man, and we're gonna be all right, man. It's gonna be fun talking to the family members, bro. It is. Those are great shows, man, and I enjoy them. I hope you guys enjoy those shows as well. They're real fun. And hey, Lo, man, make sure you wear your shirt, bro. Remember, y'all you still on under the bet until we play in the NFC South. The schedule makers did us a great job. You guys, we don't play you guys to after the bye week, so I get an extra long, a good period to kind of pick at you and kind of make sure, Lo, when you come to the NFC South roundtable, Lo, you got to put the score tee on, brother. You got to rock the score tee. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I'm asking you to put the score tee on, man. Lo, you still, bro. We still got you, Lo. The Who Dat Nation got y'all all the way till after the bye week, bro. So I think that was cool that they set that up. It's like, man, Lo lost to Big Q and the Who Dat Nation, man. Let's go ahead on and set this all the way up to further back that we can get it. And then we'll make the Saints and the Falcons play after the bye week twice. So we got an extra long time for them to kind of sulk it up that the Saints swept them out of here. And then they got to wait that long to get another opportunity. So, yeah, there you go. Lord, don't be a sore loser, bro. That's, bro, you the man, brother. You know, wear that shirt with pride. Lord, I told you, you are winning on that shirt. You're winning. You're not wearing the shirt as the final score as a loser. You're showing the fact that you guys at the moment were winning. That's a winner tee. The score tee is a winner tee for the Atlanta Falcon family members. Lo, you're looking at it wrong, brother. You're looking at it wrong. All right, fam, let me get on out of here. I appreciate y'all, man, for being in the stream. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Check out the links if you want to join the stream, man, to help out the whothatdaily.com. You can go to the whothatdaily.com, links in the description section below. Feel free to share the articles. We got writers that are writing boxing, pro football, pro basketball, all that stuff is going on, college football. Feel free to show them some love, man. Y'all know how we rocking here. And we need your support in that way, just sharing the articles, because this is us, man. This is the Who Dat Nation, is our collective, man, as we are pushing past these ESPN people and all this. This is our way of doing things. This is straight from the family members themselves, and that's how it's supposed to be. This is our words, our thoughts, and we are here, man. You can't ignore us no more. Much love to the fam. I'm going to holler at y'all on the flip side. Who Dat, and I'm out.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Long as I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a Who Dat. Every day I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like this, and I'm a Who Dat. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Platforms store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.